Monica looks like she's diligently scribbling down notes as well. I've decided I'd like to talk with her a bit more about our next steps. I walk up and gently pull up a seat next to the table she's working on. Working on some last-minute homework? She reacts a little suddenly, which tells me that she hadn't noticed me until now.
Oh, Hallie, sorry, I guess I got a little lost in thought. No, it's not homework, I was actually...
She stops to covertly look around for eavesdroppers and then leans in a little and whispers.
I was actually trying to write down everything I could remember about the code and how to call the console.
She slides the paper over to me to take a look. Sure enough, the paper has scribblings of all kinds of code on it. Most of it doesn't make sense to me. Wow, you memorized all of that?
Well, only some. There is a lot of code, of course, but I remember the code surrounding the console the most since I accessed it the most when I was making certain changes.
Ah, I see.
I'm not sure if it'll be useful at all, but I figured I'd try to write down what I could recall just in case.
Couldn't hurt. I'd help, but apparently coding, like a lot of other stuff in my life, is mostly forgotten. Actually, that reminds me, I wanted to tell you about something. This piques Monica's curiosity as she sets her pencil down.
Hold on, let's go somewhere we can discuss this in private.
Oh yeah, good idea. We both get up and make our way out into the hallway, trying not to act too conspicuous. Not that any of the others would have noticed. We peer down both directions of the hallway for any stragglers.
Here.
Gesturing to a bench that faces opposite the classroom doors, she and I take a seat.
Okay, sorry, just didn't want anyone to overhear us. I don't think I'm ready to have that conversation with them yet.
No, you're right. Good call.
Anyway, you were saying you had something to tell me.
Yes, that's right. I recovered some of my memories. Monica's eyes light up for a moment before she recomposes herself.
Oh, that's great. What did you remember?
I begin to fill her in on everything I could recall. The project, the company, the gear, all of it. She listens to me intently the entire time, though I didn't get any indication that any of this seemed familiar to her. After I was finished, she leans back and sighed aloud.
Well...
Yeah, it's not much, but it's a good place to start. Apparently the company I worked for was pretty shady.
Yeah. It was kind of an odd choice for them to close all the other projects and departments except for yours. Though I suppose given your presence here, I can understand why. They must have saw the value of what you were doing. And maybe they had other plans for it.
Well, fully autonomous virtual reality has numerous applications, from education to rehabilitation, recreation, and I stopped myself. Do not finish that sentence.
Well, I'm sure whatever it was, it probably wasn't for any good reason. Still, if you remember anything else, let me know.
Sure thing. I still don't really get how all this ties in with this game, or why I'm here, or Mr. X's plan in general.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it does sound like there's more to this hostile company than meets the eye. I can't explain it, but for some reason, it feels familiar.
Really? Well, either way, it seems like we're no closer to knowing what X is planning than before.
I don't think that's true. This is still good information to have. It means that he's still missing whatever it is that his plan requires to work. And it just reaffirms that he likely needs you, at least whenever your memories return. So it's smart to keep playing the ignorance card with him, when you do recover any memories.
I suppose so.
Until then, all we can do is wait. I'll keep trying to remember and jot down anything I can concerning the code. I might go to the library later as well, just to see if any of their books on programming inspires or helps trigger any kind of recollection. They also have computers there as well, so I can check the internet for help too.
Ah, smart. A true programmer. Monica giggles lightly and smiles. Something about her smile is pretty captivating. It isn't long before I realize I'm just kind of sitting there staring at her, or rather, getting lost in her emerald eyes. She isn't moving either, and her smile is relaxed as she sits there and stares back. Clearing my throat, I decide to break the awkward silence. So, how are preparations coming for the festival? I imagine you have your work cut out for you.
Oh, right, the festival. Yes, Sayori and I have been discussing that in greater detail. I guess I don't have to tell you what we have planned.
Reading our poems in front of strangers, correct?
Yes, correct. I know we don't have to do things the same way as before, but honestly, it's a good idea as a festival activity for the literature club.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Can't say I look forward to reciting my poem in front of a large group of people, but I'll manage.
Oh, well, I know you'll do great, Hallie, and I'll be there to support you. Or, I mean, the whole group will be there to support each other.
You know, Yuri and Natsuki will not be on board, though. Monica sighs in agreement.
I know, but as bad as this sounds, they will go along with the script eventually.
Yeah, you're right, I suppose. Still, I hope you'll at least run it by them first before acting on it. Monica smiles.
I did learn a thing or two, you know. I won't do anything without the club's support.
Great, that's all anyone can ask for. It also helps that we'll all be there to support each other, as you mentioned. Misery loves company, after all. I say that with a wide grin, but Monica didn't seem to appreciate it.
Hallie,
I'm kidding, mostly.
we can always practice on each other. I mean, in front of each other. I mean, our poems. Oh gosh.
I burst out laughing, which just makes Monica seem even more mortified. She buries her head in her hands to try and hide how red she is. I don't think I've seen her this flustered before, and it's absolutely delightful. She's typically so well put together, calm and collected. Moments like these, though, show me she's not flawless, and she's just as human as anyone else. I really like that she's starting to feel more comfortable around me, as well. Right, our poems. Miss Monica, are you trying to seduce me? Seeing an opportunity to turn the tables, Monica decides it's her turn to embarrass me.
Oh, you'd know if I was trying to seduce you.
Yeah, my turn to be embarrassed. I turn beet red and stammer the only thing that I can't. You win.
Oh, giving up already?
Pleased with her victory, Monica covers her mouth while she giggles.
I can't help it. Your face is so funny when you're flustered.
Your face is funny. Funny looking. Monica immediately begins to sulk.
Hey, that's not very nice.
Am I detecting a... Why, yes, she's pouting. Monica is actually pouting.
Don't tease me, you manie.
Ha! Sayori is really rubbing off on you, isn't she? This actually makes Monica smile and laugh a bit.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Should I start calling you Sayonica now?
No. I like just being Monica, thank you very much.
Fine. Hey, Monica. With a sigh, she side-eyes me before fully turning to face me.
Yes?
Thank you.
For what? I haven't done anything.
I don't think I've felt this good since I got here. This world, game, whatever.
Oh, well, I prefer to think of it as a different world, to be honest. It kind of takes the sting out of the whole existential crisis, you know? But you're welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying your time here, such as it is. I don't think I've been this happy in a long time either.
Oh, you seem like you're usually pretty chipper most of the time.
Well, I have to be, you know, for the others. But also, there's just a lot of pressure that comes with being a club president. Top of my class, parental expectations.
Yeah, I suppose so. If you don't mind, what are your parents like? Where are they?
Well, my dad owns a large company that manufactures construction and industrial equipment. They have satellite sites in other countries and aggressively trying to expand into others, so he's got a lot, either opening a new branch or trying to negotiate one. My mother, well, she sadly passed away when I was about 8 years old. She got really sick and I was too young to remember much, but I remember my dad flew a lot of doctors in just to try and help her. We nearly went bankrupt from it, but unfortunately none of the doctors could do anything. When I got older, my dad wouldn't talk about it or her very much, but through some digging of my own, I found out she had brain cancer.
Oh, Monica, I'm really sorry. That must have been really hard for both of you.
Well, it was certainly hard for me, but my father, I wouldn't know. He never showed his emotions, or at least he was really good at hiding them. He just buried himself in work. I don't think he even cried at her funeral.
Oh, well, maybe he just wanted to try and be strong for you.
Yeah, well, he could have fooled me.
She raises her voice slightly.
I was left having to basically raise myself. I learned how to take care of things around the house, yard, clean and cook. He was hardly ever there for dinner anyway. He'd just leave money and a note on the counter and told me to order something. I had to learn to do a lot of things by myself. It was like he didn't even care that his 8-year-old daughter was grieving and needed her father.
At this point, her voice begins to crack and tears start to stream down her face. I put my arm around her and pull her close, not really knowing what I can do or what to say at a time like this. I can tell she's holding back still, likely because she's worried others will hear her. She pulls out a tissue from a package she had stuffed in her pocket and begins to dry her face. I start to pull away, but I feel her hand reach out onto my leg and her head shake.
Not yet, please.
I don't know why, but that last word, the way she said it, was almost heartbreaking. I nod and pull her in tighter, and we just sit there for a couple of minutes in relative silence. She has had to do so much on her own for so long. It's no wonder she excels at being a club president. She's used to having to take charge. Clearing her throat, she looks up at me.
Sorry about that.
Monica, you never have to be sorry for being yourself. I might not be able to do much, but if this is all I can do, I will do it, gladly. With this, Monica smiles and nods her head slightly.
It's enough, and the same goes for you as well. I want to be there for you as much as you are for me.
You've got it. With that, she straightens her jacket and sighs.
But enough about me. What about you? Do you recall your parents?
Honestly, not so much. I'm still trying to recall my memories, so I only vaguely remember my parents. I think it feels more like a dream than a memory.
I'm sorry, Allie. Well, I know you'll get back to your memories at some point. I would love to hear all about them when you do.
Oh, definitely.
Anyway, I guess we should probably head back in there. The others are probably starting to wonder where we are.
Ah, yeah, good point. We still have to share our poems. Monica smiles gently at me as we both get up from the bench and turn to face the door. Just as she puts her hand on the door handle, I can see her take a moment to readjust herself mentally, as if she was preparing herself. With a small sigh, she turns the handle and opens the door. Who's first? Monica, of course.
Hey, Allie.
Hey, Monica.
So today's been kind of crazy, huh?
I'll say.
Did you have any issues coming up with another poem? I must admit it's nice being able to actually read them for a change.
No issues to speak of. I honestly don't mind writing these.
That's good. Well, if you don't mind.
Oh, right. Here you go. I hand Monica my poem. Reflection. Grab that bar. I look in the mirror, but I don't see what they see. I don't recognize the person looking back. It's not the person that they think it is. There's a darkness in my soul, and a sadness in my eyes, but the person in my reflection, they look so average. I paint over the cracks, lest anyone see the chips. I grow so tired, weary. My back aches with the weight of all their problems. And they give me their burdens, their dreams, their hopes. Those are not mine. But yet, the person in the mirror continues to take them all. I just want to rest. I want the reflection to show me instead of this imposter. I want the world to see me for who I really am. But if they did, would they truly accept me? That's when I met her, the one who saw my true reflection. Though I see the world through jaded eyes, the one who sees me has eyes of jade. She sees my reflection, though hides her own, but I see hers too. And together we can be the people we were meant to be. Let's shatter the mirror and just be the reflections of who we know we are.
Oh, this is really good, Allie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's one of my better ones.
Well, I thought it was very nice. I enjoyed the analogy, albeit not very subtle.
Yeah, subtlety was never really my strong suit.
Did you happen to write this for me? Is the person in it?
Monica blushes. I mean, who knows? I'll never tell. I grin as she hands me back my paper, looking at me with those eyes again.
Well, whoever she is, she's very lucky. But anyway, I suppose it's my turn now. Turnabout is fair play after all. Since he wrote a poem for... well, you'll see.
Alright, let's take a look.
The girl who knew everything. There once was a girl who knew everything, all of life's secrets, every corner, every crevice. There was no place mystery could hide. Her knowledge brought her sadness. She was alone in her perspicuity, feeling isolated, adrift, like a feather floating on the wind. That is until one day a voice spoke out to her. It was soft, but it startled her. It asked her, "Child of light, why do you cry? You have knowledge and power, and you can never die." She replied, "This knowledge is not a gift, but a curse. What am I supposed to do with it?" The voice paused for a moment, as if the question, like the answer, wasn't obvious. It replied, "Knowledge is neither a burden nor a boon. Knowledge is simply information. True wisdom comes from what we choose to do with that information. So what do you choose to do with yours? Do you use it to help others, or do you use it to help yourself?" The girl pondered this for a moment, and slowly she began to drift down, gently landing her feet on the ground. With a smile on her face and a song in her heart, she picked up her pen. So, what did you think?
Interesting. I immediately picked up on the similar theme to one of your originals. Monica nods.
Yes, I decided to change things up a bit. Like most of my poems, this one was inspired by somewhat recent event.
Oh?
I've been having dreams as of late. Dreams about a voice that sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it.
So Monica is dreaming? I guess I never really thought about it, but it's interesting that AI can even dream. Like something out of a Philip K. Dick novel. I see. Well, I'm not sure what to make of that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. It's probably just a silly dream. Anyway, so in keeping with tradition, shall I do another writing tip of the day for you?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Great, then here's another one. Sometimes you might be faced with a difficult decision. You just have to be brave and trust your instincts. It's okay to make mistakes. Sometimes mistakes can even lead to good things. Although I suppose this can be applied to more than just writing. Anyway, that's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Alright. What will Yuri think of our poem?
I see you decided to maintain a writing style akin to Monica's. Which is fine. There's certainly nothing wrong with it. But, are you still mad at me?
Eh?
For disrespecting Natsuki yesterday. And the way you reacted.
What? What makes you think that?
This poem. It's because you're not really into my writing style, isn't it?
Yuri, that's not true at all.
But your poem.
Yuri, you're reading way too much into it. First of all, I'm sorry I lost my temper yesterday. I didn't mean to get upset. I really care about this club, and I always want to treat you and the others with respect. I guess I just got a little swept up in the overall atmosphere. It was oddly charged yesterday, and I suppose I lost myself for a moment. That's not an excuse, by the way, just an explanation. But again, I'm really sorry about that. Yuri remains silent, although her expression has changed to a more calm demeanor. Or a calmer demeanor. Second, although a lot of poetry is based on symbolism or subtle messages, mine wasn't really meant to be a show of preference for one style or person or over another. I'm simply just writing based on what I know or what feels best for me. But that in no way implies that I dislike your style or anything. If anything, I'm rather envious.
Envious? Of what?
Writing seems to come very naturally to you, and your style. There's no arguing that it's really good, like very experienced kind of good. There's no way I could match that, so I guess I don't try, but I always enjoy reading it. It helps to inspire me in other ways that may not always come across in my writing style.
Really? You think my writing is that good?
Of course, who wouldn't?
I see. Well, thank you, Hallie. And I'm sorry if I implied that your writing wasn't good. Just because your style isn't one I necessarily use in mine doesn't mean yours is bad in any way either. I really rather enjoy reading yours as well.
Yuri smiles gently. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad we were able to clear up any confusion.
You also don't need to be afraid to be a little more daring. Metaphors can go a long way. Don't feel like you need to work your brain like turning a bunch of gears. Try letting your mind wander through your feelings, and write down the things you see and hear. That's one way to truly enable your reader to see into your mind. It's a very intimate exercise.
I see. That's certainly an interesting technique. Thanks for sharing.
I have, an example of that, if you'd like to read it.
Of course. Is this the poem you wrote for today? Yuri nods and timidly hands me her poem. Yes, sir, I could. I don't think it's going to be any different, so I'm not going to read it. Here you go. I'm not sure why I expected this to be any different, but nonetheless, this does present an opportunity for me to broach the subject with Yuri. This is...
Oh no, I'm sorry. Is it too much? I know I shouldn't have been so graphic.
No, Yuri, no, it's fine. Honestly, I was just trying to figure out a good way to ask you. I need to be very careful here, because Yuri is already somewhat skittish by nature, and this topic is probably very sensitive for her.
Ask me? What did you want to ask me?
Yuri, are we close enough that we can confide in each other? Yuri pauses for a moment and remains silent. She either doesn't understand the question or she doesn't know how to respond.
Yes. I think our friendship is sturdy enough that we can confide in each other. Is there something in particular you wanted to talk about?
Listen. I know we haven't known each other for very long, but I want you to know that you can talk to me whenever you need to. I had a friend. We don't speak anymore as she, moved away a while ago, but I think maybe... Yuri starts to shift uncomfortably. You and she might be pretty similar. Yuri, does this poem convey what I think it does? Yuri begins to look around somewhat frantically, almost as if she's both looking to see if anyone else can hear our conversation and I suspect, to remind herself of the quickest exit out of the room. I can tell her fight or flight instincts are starting to kick in, so I need to try and reassure her. It's alright. I have no room to judge. I only ask because I'm your friend, and the truth is, Yuri, I wasn't there for my friend when she needed me the most. I've had to live with that for some time. I just want to make sure that you know I'm here if you ever need to talk. Yuri gets really quiet and starts to gently trace her fingers along her arms. Suddenly, Yuri jumps up out of her chair.
I'm sorry. I have to go do something.